Hello, welcome once again to It's a Frankly Hairy podcast. I'm your host, Frank Weber. So glad that you have joined me in the forest once again, it's actually a little bit more than the 99th time. I did a couple of bonus episodes in the past, but this is officially episode number 99, and I'm really excited. We're getting close to triple digits already, and just checked the ratings. Apparently we had a big spike yesterday, so I really thank you for that. I'm not sure exactly who's doing that, but I'm very pleased to see that go up sometimes like it does in one day, and I have no idea who it could be out there. I hope it's not bots, of course. I'm always talking about bots on this show, but sometimes I wonder if it's somebody I know, maybe not currently, but somebody way in the past who's looked me up and has decided to tune into the show. And maybe that's the case, maybe it isn't, but if it is, please make yourselves known. I would love to contact you and talk with you and see what you think about the show. Still working on it. It's a work in progress, taking a while for sure, but yes, I'm thankful to you. I'm thankful to everybody who's taking time to listen to the show every week. Now, on this week's show, I decided, a lot of you who have been listening the last few weeks, I've had some trouble coming up with a lot of good things to talk about and things that kind of just roll off my tongue or roll out of my head and then off my tongue and into this microphone so that you can hear it and hopefully digest it and learn something from it. But I wanted to talk about something that's been bothering me and kind of annoying me, and not in a particularly depressing way, but just kind of an annoying way. So hopefully this will be a fun show for everybody. But the last week or two, maybe even 3, I'm not sure exactly how far back it's going now, but every time I walk out to my mailbox, I've got 4, 5, 6 political mailers in my box, a lot of times from the very same people, trying to get me to vote for them in the upcoming primary election. And it's the same thing every single damn day. And I don't know. I mean, I know this is, so I should tell you the background of this, of course, is that I'm in Texas here, and we've got early voting going on for the primary election, which is officially next week, the first Tuesday in March. I don't know if any of y'all can believe that next week is already the first week of March. But the primary election for the November general election is next week. And of course, a lot of people are running ads. Of course, these are ads within their parties trying to secure their party's nomination so that they can be on the ballot in November when the general election happens. So I just don't remember having this kind of volume of political mail every single damn day, or I don't really want to say anything too expletive on here, even though I have before, but I don't think I've ever seen that much volume of mail from the same people every single day. And it's also bad on TV, watching the news and local programming. It's just constant ads during the commercial breaks. And not that this is technically new, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, the volume of mail that I've been getting. And sadly, this has been a fairly warm February. There hasn't even been any snow here, which is pretty unusual for the Texas Panhandle, and so there's not any opportunity to use these mailers as like fire starter or anything like that. But I kind of wonder sometimes if this is, and the reason that I'm talking about this here, because I'm not talking about any kind of political topic or position or even necessarily supporting any of these candidates, but I'm just wondering if this constant vote for me thing is becoming more and more of a social issue than maybe it ever has been before. Um, the strange thing is, and I'll talk about a number of things, some of which I think I've mentioned in the past on this show, but the primary issue, of course, this is a primary election, which to the general voting public, including myself, is pretty boring, pretty bland and boring. You may have a political party that you favor one over the other. So when you get to the voting booth, if you haven't done your research, it's really just a bunch of names, and you're voting for somebody who you may not know from Adam, as the old saying goes, and just hope that person winds up on the ballot in November. And it's pretty boring, not particularly real competitive. It's not like we're going and feeling like we're going to somehow change the world with our vote, especially during a primary time. And I'm just wondering why people are so, other than wanting to be elected and wanting to be in power, I'm just really curious as to why they're just spending so much money on the advertising and whether it really does a lot to make us care more about it, if you know what I mean. Because what's going to happen, of course, somebody's going to win the primary, and they may have to do it in a runoff because some of these offices, like I think there's some office on the ballot that's got like at least 10 people or some crazy bullshit like that. I haven't looked yet. I haven't gone to vote yet. I probably will just because I like to vote, but it's just I don't know. Primaries are boring again. But what'll happen, of course, and then, of course, sometimes if you have too many people for one race, they have to go to runoff, which is not until like May or June. And then you've got to start getting tired of voting by then. But what'll happen is, let's say there's just two people in the race, and we'll just call it Joe Sucks against Jack Blows. And let's say Joe Sucks defeats Jack Blows. What's going to happen is, because these two guys or girls, because there's a lot of women in these races nowadays, the loser is going to wind up endorsing the winner anyway. And then we're kind of at this weird kind of, politics is a lot like professional wrestling. It has the kayfabe mentality where people can go at it and pretend to hate each other and spar and say that, that you're a communist or your mother is evil or dropped you on your head and all this shit that they say on these political ads. And then once the thing is finally over and everything, we're all going to go and have a beer and go out to eat, which is what they do a lot of times on Austin or in Washington. Or at least that's my understanding of it. And it's so fake because everybody in these places, they just want this power. And then I also think about it too, of course, just in terms of general advertising. They spend a lot of money on advertising, and I don't know if it really works because a lot of people are either not going to vote because it is a primary and it's not interesting, or B, they may vote, but then, like me, they're just kind of, I don't know, they're just kind of like, well, if my candidate wins, great. If they don't, I'll wind up voting for the other guy because we're so entrenched, in our silos and where we want to stand in our world politically. And obviously most places have a certain set of values and lean a certain way. Like, for example, here in the Panhandle, we are like a lot of places in this country, and it's really kind of it's good in one way because you want to have people around you that share your same values, and supposedly those values are shared by your favorite political party, although that's questionable, I think, on both sides these days. But we tend to be very monolithic in our voting in many, many areas in this country now. And so much so, I kind of think that somebody could get into office, running as a candidate for the other party and probably win. If you've got if they don't put you on the spot too much, and which a lot of the politicians, if you're not having active debates or anything like that, you might be able to get away with it. But like, for example, here, this is a very Republican stronghold here in West Texas, and the Panhandle especially. I think the Lubbock and Amarillo area are considered like some of the most conservative in the entire country. Although I think that there are potentially more conservative areas than us. Can't say that for sure. I haven't been every place, but and that's great in that sense, because I think people have a good sense of values and tradition, and are not too interested in what's the word? Reinventing the wheel, I think, politically and values wise. And so I think that's good, but I think it also can hamper us, and we don't go and experience new things because we're kind of set into doing certain things and voting for certain people. And so what I'm trying to say here is that you could have somebody come along in a fairly kind of a lower political position, like I said, that has no debates, and there's not really a lot said about positions on the issues, and you could maybe get a Democrat come in who decided to vote Republican, or I'm sorry, not vote Republican, but say for this race, and in order to get elected into this area, they are calling themselves a Republican. And if they win the primary, there's a very good chance that they will win the general election. And I've said this at very low levels of politics, like the city council and county judges and stuff like that. They don't have to run with a party in this state, and so potentially people could get elected to, certain offices, and kind of sounds like I just spit there, but people could get elected to certain offices without saying much about their political position, and it could be really dangerous for the area in which they are aspiring to gain office. So I don't know. There may be ways of vetting people out before that it gets to that point, but there's always that possibility and always that danger. And I think there should be a mix of a little bit of everything, but nothing too crazy one way or the other, if that makes sense. But anyway, the race that I'm really seeing on the news a lot here, at least in my little town here that I'm about to move away from, is one which I believe is for the State House. I don't think it's for the federal, but there's one for the State House between two women named Jamie Haynes and I can't remember now. Holly something. Holly Jeffries, yeah, there it is. My memory's going on. And I don't know, the amount of money that Holly Jeffries looks like she's in healthcare. And I don't know, the amount of money they spend on ads and whether they really work to get people to vote for them has got to be mind-boggling. And, to run for office, you have to be of a certain temperament and mentality. And I think there are people who, by the way, who really do go into it meaning well, but I don't know, it's kind of like, prison, in the sense that they go in there and, it changes them, and then they morph into something else and, try to bring the pork back home so that they get reelected and reelected again for, 50 terms or whatever it is. So, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, they have that, and they get that personality where it's just about, wanting power and maybe control and maybe getting this self-aggrandizement. I want to say Jamie Haynes ran for something a couple of years back and lost. And then you see politicians, but then she's been in Austin. And then, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there, unless she was trying to move up to a higher office or something like that. But anyway, I would just tell you, I do encourage people to go and vote. And I think there's like propositions on the ballot as well. But I don't know. I just can't trust a lot of these politicians anymore. and they're not really looking out for us, and whether they're really doing a good job or not, I have no idea. But I think there was something else I was trying to say as well. I know there's some other ads that I see all the time on TV that, of course, I'm not getting in my mailbox because I'm not in their district of interest here. But anyway, that's just a little bit of a commentary there, simply because I'm getting too much junk in my mailbox and seeing a lot of crazy stuff on TV, and people just saying, vote for me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. So, primaries are just not a lot of fun. So, anyway, I didn't have really much else to talk about after this. I know it's been kind of lean the last couple of weeks, and hopefully when I get things going, get moved, and maybe graduate from school at the end of this year, maybe I can work on this full time, really get some guests on the show, that sort of thing. Think a lot about a lot of things, old memories, old friends, people that I've run across over the years, and it's great to visit with them whatever chance we get, and always take advantage of those opportunities, and just sit down and talk to people, listen to them, see what they have to say. It's a lot of fun, really, and hopefully we can do that more on this show. I'm saying this also too in a context because I'm sincerely hoping that the end of this year there'll be another high school reunion down south where I went to high school. I'm not going to say the names or anything like that, but this is 30 years, so, and I've signed up through the proper channels, so hopefully this time everything will be okay. I think I actually missed the last one in 2016. I was very disappointed about that. Anyway, hopefully everybody's, I guess I'll just say a shout out. Hopefully everybody's staying safe from fires that are in the area, and we're already getting those spring winds already, and I don't really know. I think all these things, the grass fires are the same as forest fires. I mean, they really are preventable, and I can never understand why they start in the first place. I mean, we have gotten a long way from. I thought we had gotten a long way from throwing cigarette butts out the window like my Uncle Leja used to do down there on the farm in Guadalupe County. And in fact, I even saw him throw a whole ashtray out once. I think it was cool by then, but I never could tell with him. But yeah, you have people throwing cigarettes out or run their catalytic converters over the grass and everything. I don't know why we can't stop that and just prevent all these fires, although obviously the wildfires do have some sort of ecological benefit here in the panhandle, just like forest fires sometimes have ecological benefit in the foresty areas, which is not here. So, but I don't get how they start, but I think they're preventable. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up the show here today. Hopefully that was fun and entertaining for you. Poke fun at a few politicians, and that's just a strange world. A lot of strange worlds that are within our world right here on this planet, and I don't know. I just a lot of game playing and back scratching and everything that goes on there, but I still say go out and vote no matter what. So anyway, this is before I go. I'm already losing my train of thought. I don't know sometimes if I should do this show in the afternoon or after I've been up for a while. I have been up for a little bit, maybe 12 hours by now, or if it would be better early in the morning. But anyway, let me go ahead and call it a day. This is episode 99. I think our next week should try to make it pretty special as 100, although I'm trying not to be a real big commemorative guy, and I think our second 100 will be even bigger than our first 100, and progressively more so as we get down the line. But anyway, go ahead and I'll give you some call to action here. Share this with your neighbors and friends and everybody you run across. So hit that subscribe button, and don't be shy to comment on something or send me a DM. I would love to hear from you, and I kind of would like you to be, for this show right now, to be sort of listener directed. Send me some questions, ask me some things. Nothing is really off limits here. I'm really not, I think people could share a little bit more than they actually do a lot of times, and I try to do that with you. And, go ahead and ask me any question you want to. I certainly am encouraging it at this point. So, well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. This is your host, Frank Weber, leaving the forest for today and for this week, and we'll see you again back here next week. Bye. Love you. Have a great week. Stay safe from the winds and the fires and whatever else may befall you, traffic, you name it.